And so this video begins on a rainy Monday morning, entering Salem, Massachusetts. My first time, our first time. And this is the opposite side of the sign. We came from Peabody, St. Thomas the Apostle Parish, Salem, Peabody, and Danvers. We enter. I've always wanted to come here. It's finally going down today. And little did I know that I am related to Salem. My ancestors were here during the Salem Witch Trials. And we begin on the streets of Salem. First time here. Don't know what to expect, but kind of know what to expect. There's a lot of things to do here involving witches and witchcraft, Halloween, Hocus Pocus. This is like the pinnacle moment. Yesterday, Sleepy Hollow. Today, Salem. And we begin by coming to Charter Street. On the backside of this historic home, a memorial to the Salem Witch Trials and the oldest cemetery in Salem. Welcome back to the channel. Welcome if it's your first time. I am Tampa J. This is my beautiful fiance, Chris the girl. How does it feel to be here?
It's amazing. I can't believe we're finally here.
This is going down. We've been looking forward to this trip for a long time. We both took a week off of our regular jobs. This is truly our vacation. And look where we chose to go to spend our quality time. Yesterday, Sleepy Hollow. Today, tomorrow, Salem, Massachusetts. There goes the Salem taxi.
Oh, cute.
It's got a witch on it. The witch capital of the world. We are going to check out a lot of stuff. I don't want to get ahead of myself, but today specifically, I'm going to be walking around Salem. Chris is going to be making a video. I recently found out that I am related to the Salem Witch Trials. My 10th great grandfather was Reverend Hale. I'm gonna go to his house, his 400-year-old something house, his farm, his grave, talk about how he was involved with the Salem Witch Trials, talk about those specifically, show a lot of witchy stuff. Chris is gonna make a couple videos today. She's shopping, doing the shopping stuff, and tomorrow you're going more in depth with the history and all that. I'm gonna be doing some haunted stuff, some scary stuff, some spooky stuff. The camera will be rolling. We're gonna capture a lot of things, anything that pops out to us. You never know what we might find here. Just so stoked to be here. This is an intro that I'm gonna keep kind of short because we got a lot to capture. What do you think? You ready?
Yeah, I'm ready.
We can do some damage. We're gonna split up some and then we'll be back together. There's never been this much ahead. Right here in Salem, Massachusetts. Right here on the corner of this electric box. Just saw this out of the corner of my eye. It's always Halloween in Salem. At least someone wrote it right here on this box. And this is the Samuel Pickman house. Over here, hiding, the Salem Witch Trials Memorial, the history. In 1692, nearly 200 people in the Salem area were accused of witchcraft and considered a crime. 20 of the accused were tried and executed. And this is a memorial to the victims. There's a picture right here. And here's the actual memorial to the victims of the Salem Witch Trials. A lot of people out here taking tours and whatnot. This is really pretty. The rain's really setting the vibe. The oldest cemetery, Charter Street Cemetery, beyond the wall there. 20 stones placed upon the wall for each of the victims of the Salem Witch Trials. The ones that were executed. This one, Samuel Wardwell, hanged September 22nd, 1692. As you can see, people have left mementos and flowers for the remembrance. This is really pretty with the rain. Margaret Scott, hanged September 22nd, 1692. Innocent of such wickedness. Ultimately, these young ladies were killed for political gain. Learned in history that Salem Witch Trials were just awful. There was no actual witchcraft going on here. Charter Street Cemetery, originally called the Burying Point, the Salem Burying Point. There are Revolutionary War soldiers buried in there as well. Established in 1637, National Register of Historic Places, the historic burying ground is a place of honor and history. Gravestones and tombs are fragile, and their condition is the result of time and the effects of weathering. All right, there's a little sign here, just on the other side of the memorial. Thank you.
Oh, thank you.
Beautiful headstones. So you have to stay on the path. Wow. I was mentioning this yesterday in the Sleepy Hollow Cemetery. Always kind of a sad feeling that the acid rain, Mother Nature, takes your name off your resting stone. But thanks to historians for documenting, there are records. We know who's buried here. If we really want to know, you just check out the archives. A lot of people out here. This is a Monday. Imagine this place on a Sunday, right? Halloween season, millions of people come out here.
That's why we wanted to come here not, on the off season. So we wanted to soak this up as much as possible.
Revolutionary soldier here off the path in memory of Captain Will Wyatt. Died December 1796. Beautiful headstone. Burials all the way against the back perimeter. This is the west side. Old building there. Even back here tucked away. I'm not supposed to go off the path. Woohoo. But I want to go back there and look at that. It's a couple tombstones. And then one way out there.
So there's obviously no disrespect to any of the people that are buried here in this cemetery. It's not where I'm going with all of this. But the people that were executed in the witch trials, 23 of them or 21 of them, I can't remember.
20.
But they were not given a Christian burial. None of those people are buried in this cemetery or any cemetery. There's a couple of exceptions. Like I think Rebecca Nurse is buried on her homestead, which is really nice. And there's like a couple of exceptions, but for the most part, the people that were executed in the witch trials were just thrown in a shallow grave, like in a ditch,
just chucked
right near where
that's sad.
Where they were hanged and whatnot. They weren't given a
proper burial.
And a lot of the people too, I'm pretty sure, who were like, the judges, the people responsible for the trials, the executions and whatnot, they're buried here.
Yeah.
So just to put that into perspective for you. Again, there's no disrespect to anybody resting here in peace, I hope, but just wanted to throw that out there.
Thank you. And that's just a tidbit of the stuff you're going to cover in your videos.
I've done a lot of research. I've read a lot of books. Yeah, it's amazing to be here. Like,
it truly is. Being here with you, everything, the history, it's awesome. And these are the Hawthorns, famous family from Salem. John there on the right, Judith, Daniel, Captain Daniel Hawthorne, Rachel, and these are the family of famous author Nathaniel Hawthorne, who is not buried here and changed the spelling of his name. That's another fun fact from Chris the Girl.
Yeah, changed the spelling of his last name to distance himself from the not so great
Salem Witch Trials.
Yeah,
all right, so after this, I'm gonna get in my car. I'm gonna leave downtown Salem and head up to a little village called Beverly. That is where the Hale homestead is. That is my 10th great grandfather's home and museum. I am so stoked to go check this out. Chris is gonna check out this witchcraft and magic shop called Pentagram. I'm gonna check that out with her real quick, and then I'm gonna leave and head out to the Hale farm. And passing by the Salem Witch Museum as I'm heading to Beverly. Planning on coming back to that later. Look at the line. Wow, that looks awesome. Wow. The home of my 10th great grandfather, John Hale. And I parked my car inside of the Hale farm. This is amazing. I got goosebumps on my goosebumps. Learned about this history last year doing my Ancestry. Reverend John Hale, the Hale farm. 1630. 1630. That's a long time ago. This house was built in 1694 by the Reverend John Hale, first minister of the First Church in Beverly. A charge of witchcraft made against his wife, not my grandmother, his second or third wife, I believe, made against his wife, convinced the minister of the folly and wickedness of the crusade and ended all witch hunting in Beverly. So Reverend John Hale, at first, Grandpa was against witches, and then at the end, he was against the banishment of witchcraft and defended witches. He actually wrote a book. Also an author. Pretty fascinating. I am not lifting my grandfather up. I am not putting my grandfather down. I am just simply here to visit my family history and his farm. Wow, this is beautiful. This is Hale Street, by the way, 39 Hale Street, Beverly. Essex National Heritage Area, the Hale Farm. This project received funding assistance from the citizens of Beverly, thank you, through the Community Preservation Act. Now, the museum is only open one day a week for 4 hours, Friday from 11 till 3, but we can roam around the property, check it out. There's a lot of history signs I've seen already. It's a depiction of the Hale Parlor chamber created by County Life magazine. So this is the interior. And before we go any further into the property, I brought up a picture of my 10th great grandfather. This is Reverend John Hale. You can see he was of the times. Born in 1636, died in 1700, and here's a picture of the book he wrote. This is the inside page, A Modest Inquiry into the Nature of Witchcraft and how persons guilty of the crime may be conveyed. And this is defending the victims of witchcraft in Salem, written by John Hale, 1697. As you know, that was the time of the Salem Witch Trials. So ultimately, he was sought out to help in the trials and then would ultimately defend them because his wife was accused of being a witch. Now, if you know anything about the history of the trials, there was no witchcraft. That was all false. It was just a political way, basically between two families of the area, the Putnams and the Porters, to get rid of people, to get rid of their problems. And in this case, they made them witches. That is ultimately, in a nutshell, the best way I can explain it. Chris will go more in depth with that history in her video. But my grandfather that lived here was involved with it, and it's pretty fascinating. Always wanted to come here. Little did I know until I got my account on Ancestry.com that I was related to it. Wow. It's the front door. This is so cool. Hey Grandpa, I'm your 10th great grandson, and I come in peace. I'm your grandson. Maybe I should get my ghost meter. I was kind of joking, but I will go back and get that. It got eerily quiet all of a sudden. Cars in the distance, that's it. The Hale Farm. I'm gonna walk all the way around this place. Nah, thought I saw something. Before I progressed, I did go back to my car and I did get my meter. We'll see if this comes in handy. This is my EMF tester. I have gotten readings on this before, actually one on a Civil War hospital down in Florida. Garbage truck. Step back for you. Wow, this is so cool. So there's a garden out here, a trail with signs all the way around it. It's a big property. This was once a farm. I'm gonna walk all the way around the house. Of course. What's that? Something in the window. I am your 10th great grandson, Mr. Reverend Hale. I come in peace. Do you have anything you'd like to say to me? Just speak into the box. I am your 10th great grandson. Oh, what's my name? Oh, my name's Jay. Call me Jay. I come from Florida. Dude, it looks like there's a freaking face in that window right there. It's freaking me out. You see what I'm talking about? Ooh, I think it's just like a curtain or something. In 1664, Reverend John Hale came to Bass Riverside as minister and lived on this site in an existing parsonage. Reverend Hale's salary was 70, was that euros? 70 whatever that is, someone correct me, plus his firewood and the right to pasture his animals on common land. In 1668, Bass Riverside became Beverly, in large part due to Reverend Hale's efforts and good character. And that's the first parish church of Beverly. That was my grandpa's church. And I think that's still here. We'll have to go check that out. I'm gonna walk around and check out these signs around the farm, and then I'll approach the windows a little more, walk around the house. Here's a sign right here. A woman accused of witchcraft. A man beset by witches. And look at that, that's the book. That's cool. When Hale's wife Sarah was accused of witchcraft, he realized the folly of the hysteria and worked to end the outbreak, but only after hundreds of innocent people had been accused, and of the 30 found guilty, 19 executed. So 19, I thought there were 20. And this is a picture, 1876 engraving of the court scene during the Salem Witchcraft Trials, courtesy of Library of Congress. I remember seeing this in one of my history books. And the medieval mind witches were real. If an animal died or milk soured, witchcraft was often blamed. Outbreaks of witchcraft hysteria were all too common in Europe and the colonies. In 1692, witchcraft was suspected in nearby Salem Village, which is currently Danvers. So that's a little north of actual downtown Salem. The Salem Witch Trials, I hate to break it to you guys, but they really didn't happen in downtown Salem. And it goes on to say that John Hale, Reverend John Hale, was called on to investigate the trial, the witches. And now all the way at the back of the Hale farm, check this out, just big houses behind here, a neighborhood, streets go all the way around. Talks about the history of the first house and the second house. I was reading here that there was a fire here. 1689, this house was struck by lightning, the chimney roof in the kitchen, leaving Reverend Hale temporarily paralyzed and injuring his wife Sarah. Here's an old postcard here. It says Hale Barn from Hale Street. So it looks like this is the barn that used to sit behind the house, and the house over here. A lot more wooded back then. It's really pretty. And here's also a photograph from the 1800s of the Hale farm. And here we are approaching the back side of the house. It's not open, only open on Fridays, but I'm gonna peek through the windows a little bit, see what we can see. Look at this rug. Oh wow, okay, so we can see the inside. There's a piano to the left. Also got the EMF tester going. There's a stairwell. I'm glad we can peek in here. Hello, Grandpa. Reverend John Hale, I come in peace. It's a big house. Another window over here to the right. Oh, wow. Yeah, there's a lot of stuff going on. It looks like this is being utilized. It's like an office. Ooh, I see a grandfather clock. Look at that grandfather clock in the corner. That's cool. There's some other windows around the way here. It's a beautiful piece of property. Yeah, here you go. Let's look in here. Let's see what's going on in here. Oh, there's the fireplace. Okay. One of the fireplaces, I guess they changed them out, moved them around a little bit as I was reading on the sign. I think I found the restroom maybe in there. This is like the back hallway area. It's hard to see because of the glare. It's really creepy and quiet. And there is a basement. Look at that cellar door. I'd love to go down to there. Wonder what that's like. Okay, so very cool to be here. This was high up on my bucket list here near Salem. Now I'm gonna go check out the first church of Beverly, Reverend John Hale's first church, and see if I can find his gravesite. I think he's buried right across the street from the church, and it's not too far from here. All right, we came in peace and we leave in peace. Thank you, Grandpa. Thanks for having us. Now, I want to be very careful. Those were different times back then. I am not promoting I am not celebrating. I am not doing the opposite. I am not, I just want to say, you can't help who you're related to. And I don't agree with everything my grandfather did back in those days. Maybe with some things, but you know, those were different times. I'm just simply documenting my genealogy here today. I don't want to step on any toes. I don't want to offend anyone, but I don't know necessarily how this guy was. We don't know back then. We don't know what kind of person they were, but you can't help who you're related to. And I thought it was pretty cool that I'm related to the Salem Witch Trials. I'm related to this man, and it being my first time in Salem, Massachusetts, I thought it was important to document the heritage. Good or bad, I'm documenting my heritage. I just came up Hale Street from the home, right around this bend, just paid at this parking meter across from Beverly Fire Department HQ, fire station. That's cool. Right here, beyond my car, up there on the main street through Beverly. This is the backside of the first Puritan church in Beverly. John Hale, the first Reverend. Pretty neat. Let's go check it out. In between Church Street and Hale Street, here on Cabot Street, check this out. The first parish Puritan church of Beverly, built in 1667. Reverend John Hale, my 10th great grandfather, minister at this church. That is pretty unique history. I'm gonna go back across the street so you can get this whole building into frame. There's some signs to read over here. And here on the left side of the church, you can barely make it out. It says First Parish Church. This is Trail 13 of the Privateer Trail. It talks about how the church was founded in 1667. It talks about how supplies were stored here during the American Revolution for the HMS Nautilus, fired upon its tower. Wow, the Nautilus fired upon the tower of the church. And here you go, into frame, also painted yellow like the Hale farm. I'm just putting that, just noticing that. It's a pretty big church. It's pretty amazing. I noticed throughout New England, all the old churches have like the old clock on the steeple. That's very common. I can see why they use this as a turret during the Revolutionary War. You can see way out into the harbor from here, I'm sure, which is out that way. And look at that right there, Hale Street and Cabot Street. Beverly's a pretty cool town. There's a church right there, some old buildings. Here's the street. Pretty neato. All right, now let's go check out the grave of Reverend John Hale. All right, so look at this. At the end of this cemetery, there's a monument out here in the middle, homes all the way around. There's a specific area, a plot, partitioned off by these old stones. This is the Hale plot, I believe. And it was right behind, look at that, the fire station. This is the backside of the Beverly Fire Station. Holy crap. Robert Hale. These are my ancestors. And we come in peace. We enter. Wow, spooky, the rain kicked up. This is the Hale plot. I am your descendant, and I come in peace. I come to say hello. And right here nearest the entry, Reverend John Hale's resting place. It's a cool tombstone there. See the skull? Here lies the body of Reverend John Hale, minister of the gospel and pastor of First Gathered Church of Christ in this town of Beverly. I'm gonna have to move the grass to read the rest. And it goes on to say he perished in 1700. It's really hard to read that there. This is so cool to be here. Just taking it all in for a moment. these are my relations, not just the Hales. There's also the Bartletts in here. It's pretty cool to stand here and not know anything about these people, but just to know that you're related to them 400 something years ago, a time in our country's history, it just beginning, the original colonies, Puritanism, religion, all coming here, going through this giant revolution before a revolution, so to speak, just standing here in this graveyard, thinking about, man, what were these people like? What did they do? Knowing that you're related to them. It's a weird feeling. I'm sure people out there have had the same experiences before, but this is my documentation of the first time I've encountered this. 10th great grandfather right over there, and grandmother next to him, Rebecca Hale. John Hale, his wife Rebecca, aged 45 years, died April, holy crap, April 30th, 1683. That's my birthday, April 30th. About 400 years, actually, woo, 305 years later, I was born. His wife Sarah, aged 41 years, died May 20th. So, oh wow, it's talking about Rebecca and then Sarah and his daughter. So, but his first two wives are buried right here. But yeah, Rebecca would be my great grandmother. That's insane. I don't know if you can see that there. And doing the research on Ancestry.com, there is no history about Rebecca. When she died, really didn't know much about her until I got here. Maybe grandmother wanted to get a little fame. Maybe grandpa took all the fame and maybe she was in the background doing all the work. Who knows? I feel like my grandmother wanted me to come up here. I think I see a flamingo over there. No lie, there's a flamingo in that yard. That's pretty cool. It's nice to meet you, Rebecca. Nice to meet you, Grandma. You see it right there? Right there in that backyard. Flamingo. Check this out. Before this flagpole that sits before the Hale plot, dedicated by the city of Beverly. Memorial Day 1998. First Parish Cemetery is an open-air museum. This early settlers played such a significant part in the drama of early Beverly life. First Minister, Reverend Hale, Colonel Robert Hale, and the Lovetts, Trask, Obers, Thorndikes, Herricks, and many others are buried here to be moved no more. All right, family, I came in peace. It was nice to meet you all. I leave in peace. Although you are blood, please don't follow me home, or anyone for that matter who might be here. Really appreciate the time you've given me. Have a pleasant rest. Much ahead. And this is a Civil War monument that sits in the middle of this street beyond the first graveyard of Beverly and my ancestors. Wow. That was a great moment. Okay, now back to Salem. Gotta meet back up with Chris the girl. There's still much ahead. We got much to see. Halfway between Beverly and back to Salem, Dunkin' Donuts stopped to get a coffee. Also to use the restroom. Check this out. Took a picture. Salem runs on Dunkin'. Pulling out here. Good place to use the restroom if you're looking for one in Salem. And I'm back in Salem, downtown Salem, parked on the 4th floor of this parking garage. The sun is coming out. This is nice. It's a bird's eye view from this perspective. Beverly back that way, that's the way I just came from. Chris the girl is out shopping. She's at a place called Nocturne, which is a 1/4 mile walk up that way and a couple blocks over. So I'm gonna go meet up with her and we're gonna do more stuff. We gotta go by the witch house, perhaps the witch museum. You'll see it when we get there. And now we're here on the back side of the house where I started, walking up this street. Nocturne is where Chris the girl is. This is the far side of the cemetery we were in earlier. And here we are at Nocturne. I'm thinking of Nocturne Alley. I can see why my fiance is inside here. This place looks awesome. Make sure you check out our video to get the tour. Just gonna show you the sign. Candle. Look at the t-shirts inside. All right, creature feature stuff. You went to the Ouija board museum and you were just telling me it was haunted.
very haunted in there. And it only just began recently. Like, it hasn't always been a haunted place. But the guy, first of all, amazing. If you're here in Salem, that's a must. Like, you have to do it. It's only $10. The guy who runs it, like, super, super, super knowledgeable and, like, really into it. Very, very engaging. But yeah, it's only just been recently, like, till, like, last October, that he got some Ouija boards in that are... There's something going on there.
Oh man, those freak me out.
I felt it. Like, I definitely felt it. And I had no idea that there was going to be... Like, I didn't know that they were haunted. Like, we just kind of walked towards the back, and he was just kind of explaining stuff, and all of a sudden I'm like...
Ooh.
Getting, like, really anxious, and, like, heart's, like, kind of going...
That's
like
crazy.
And he's like, yeah, these boards here that are behind the glass, they're really, really haunted. And, people come in here, some people faint, some people have been, you know, have gotten sick, you know, people have, like, had to, like slowly start, like, backing out. And
wait a minute, fair warning.
So, and it's true, because I felt it in there. Like,
were you recording in there?
I recorded, yeah. He just asked no audio, so I just did some montages.
Okay, check that out.
But yeah, it was...
Maybe we'll go by there sometime.
It was wild. And the weirdest part about it, too, is that it's not... You'd think it would be like an old Ouija board or, like, you know, something like that. Stranger Things Ouija board made in 2017.
Is haunted.
Haunted.
Trolley tour. I'm sure that's fun. A lot like the old town trolleys. Ghost tours. Hocus Witch Home and Healing. We have a book on our coffee table I bought for Chris the girl out in Los Angeles back in January, and this is where it came from, right here. That's really cool. That's a big circle right there, a big triangle. California, Florida, and Salem. It's Samantha, the bewitched statue. That's so cool. I knew this was here. I didn't know where it was. We're actually walking to the witch house and passing it up. I used to love to watch Bewitched. It's a really good statue. On the broom and the moon. Some stuff down here. Hair of gold eyes that twinkle and nose that neatly twitched. Clever, charming, and enchanting Samantha left us all bewitched. TV Land. Presented by TV Land. I used to watch a lot of TV Land. And now at the end of Essex and North Street, you can see it right over here. The famous Salem Witch House. Also, there's like a church back there. It looks like a castle. We may get lucky. There is no one currently in front of the witch house. There's a sign right there before the sidewalk. Entrance to the witch house is through the gift shop in the back of the house. So you can actually go inside of it. It's beautiful, like the stained glass. All right, we're gonna take some photos here. We got the witch house all to ourselves. Here's the old sign. Didn't realize it was a museum. I don't know. Should we go inside, check it out? Guess we enter on the back side. Oh, okay. You just walk all the way around it. There should be a gift shop. Oh, you can really see the age over here. The Witch House Historical House Museum that was once home to witchcraft trials Judge Jonathan Corwin. And we are...
Yeah, so this has please don't touch anything, no food or drink, and if you do take photos, no flash video.
Alright, so we just paid up here in the gift shop. We can take photos, just no videos. So I'm going to take some photos and show you what we encounter inside the Witch Museum. It's the gift shop up here. Alright, here we go. And here's some of the photos I took. That's the fireplace. This is the bottom floor. Talks about the history of the family. There's a lot of education on medical remedies and witchcraft. There was something called the witch cookie in there. You don't want to know what happens to the witch cookie. They actually take the urine of a young witch and put it in the batter and feed it to a dog. This was the kitchen. Just showing you the age of the home here. I passed it, but this right here, right there, that's the front door that you see right there. So that is right behind that door right there. That's the back side of the door. And there's the staircase that's beyond the door. There's the dining room table beyond the fireplace. The stairs, we climbed the stairs. There's the bedroom. There's Chris the girl looking beautiful in front of the bed. That's the other half of the room. That's the front window of the top floor. So that window right there. You got a friend over here?
There's your bunny buttons.
There's a bunny sitting right there. Hey little bunny, it's a baby bunny. That's the window right there in this photo. Outside looking in. And to the right of that, there was an inscription about blood and how back in the day, they would treat epilepsy by drinking warm human blood. It would be recommended, and it talks about that right there. That was a Puritan thing. That's pretty freaky. All in all, we had a great time in there. 12 bucks each. Learned a lot. You could take your time. It was very quiet. A lot of people inside. A lot of cool antiques.
Very interesting.
What was your favorite part of it?
I liked seeing there was a lot of old documents in there, and it talked about like Tituba, one of the first people to be accused of being a witch in the Salem outbreak, and just talking about how she was obviously unfairly, you know, accused as a witch and whatnot. Like they had like the transcript of them like questioning her on being a witch and whatnot. I liked the documents, yeah.
And we've been sitting here for about 12 minutes just standing here talking, and little rabbit right there, little bunny, not moving. He's having a good time watching the people come and go in front of the witch house. Just to show you this intersection right here, pretty busy, corner of Essex and North. And the church right behind the witch house that you can see from afar. Isn't it beautiful? It's got like a Celtic symbol up there. Absolutely gorgeous. And this is the first church of Salem. I don't know if it's the first church in Salem, but it is the first church of Salem. The Church Covenant, 1629. We govern it with the Lord. And it says right here on this plaque, it is the first church in Salem. Founded August 6, 1629. It's pretty cool.
Yeah.
On this wrought iron fence here. Got a note here that the address is 316 Essex. John 316, huh? Absolutely beautiful. I bet it looks awesome inside. 3 doors down from the witch house, past the first church of Salem, Chris stands before the fence of the Ropes Mansion, which I don't know it as the Ropes Mansion. I know it, we know it, as Allison's house. Welcome to a Hocus Pocus filming location. Oh, Allison. Oh, Allison. All right, I'll have to step back, but imagine it's Halloween, 1993. Jack-o'-lanterns here. Max, Allison coming out, Danny. This is so cool. I mean, come on. Hocus Pocus. We watched it every Halloween and still do. I think I skipped it last year just because the sequel left a bad taste in my mouth. No, I didn't say that. We were actually watching Hocus Pocus on the way up here. Just kind of had it playing in the background just to get in the mood for Salem. Yeah, the jack-o'-lanterns were all here. There was bales of straw. Max Dennison, Allison, and little Danny walking out right here towards us in the movie. Trick or treat, smell my feet, give me something good to eat. How about some cider? Hey, you want to go light the black flame candle? Something like that. All right, Chris has been anticipating this moment. Here at Black Craft Coffee and Store, they have Salem's largest witch. No way! This is in an old bank too. Merchants Nationals. Boo. Boo. Oh, wow. There's the house we were just in. That's a cool t-shirt. I like it. Chris is gonna give you a full tour of the place in her video. But check this out. This place is so cool. Salem's largest witch up there. She is pretty big. You can tell this used to be a bank. There's a lot of stuff in here. She was just saying she ordered a couple t-shirts a couple weeks ago. She shared them in one of her recent videos from Blackcraft. Came right here from Salem. Edgar Allan Poe. Kind of startled me. I looked over in the corner. He is life-size, and he does have a raven right on his shoulder. And look, our friend Bora. She has her own drink here in the coffee shop. And look, she's right there on the coffee. We're hoping we run into Bora this weekend. We've seen her many of times at Spooky Empire down in Orlando. Bora, if you're watching, where are you? Whoa. What's going on here? Hello. How you doing? Boo? Little Boo? It's a cool mirror. Hello everyone. Check this out. These are the old bank vaults. This is pretty neat. And inside the vault over there, I think there's a little, oh yeah, there's a little cocktail bar. This is super cool. This is the main counter of the bank. Check this out. Let's take a look inside. Oh, it's a tiki bar. Whoa, freaky tiki, freaky tiki, freaky tiki. Hello, my friend. I'll take a zombie, please. Oh, there's spooky flamingos in here. Okay, this is cool. Yeah, I nailed the flamingo right away.
Cute. There's a little spooky tiki bar inside of.
Chris is checking it out. Here's the other vault over here. Whoa, there's all the deposit boxes. That's pretty neat. Now in House Witch, another store here Chris is checking out. This is a cool postcard of the Salem Witch Museum. Not so sure if we're gonna get back there today, but before the end of the trip, we may. I really like this postcard. Why is there a cheetah in there? Now walking down the portion of Essex that I have not been to. This is a pedestrian walk. Lots of shops over here. This is more of the touristy shops. You featured the non-touristy stuff.
I did some touristy shops, but
A little
I
bit.
mostly featured the non-ones, yeah.
And something else witchy you can do, Witch History Museum. Live presentation and indoor guided tour. Also a unique gift shop. That looks fun. You know what also looks fun? This alleyway at about 1 a.m. in the morning. Yeah. And look at the cool mural on the corner of this building. This is called the Ghost Box pop-up shop at the Peabody Essex Museum. Looks pretty cool. I'm just looking at the Thurston the Great Magician and also Miss Baldwin. See the skelly and the shrunken heads? That's really cool. And this sits across from this park, and I believe I saw this online or a picture of it somewhere. That is the Paul Revere bell. The Revere bell. I'm assuming it's Paul Revere. 1801, Revere and Sons, Boston, 1801. So Paul Revere was a silversmith from what I learned in history. So he may have actually, I don't know if it's the same Revere, but he may have actually made that bell. It's really cool. This sits here, dedicated to the citizens of Essex County who served in the United States Armed Forces. And across from Armory Park right here where the bell sits, Halloween Museum. Whoa, okay. Like we need to stay here for like a month. I've already seen like 10 things I want to do here in the next couple days, which is not possible. So yeah, we'll definitely be back. Is it Halloween yet? Always Halloween on here on this channel. And of course it's Salem. I'm ready. This whole house, this homestead, skeletons, look, they're on the door crawling out of the windows on that back building. So we are not done here today, but we are done with this video only because I'm gonna film another one. So stay tuned, much ahead. Thank you for watching this one. Our first ever time, myself, you individually, us together in Salem. This was a great day. It was cool to dive deep into the history, the ancestry that kind of popped up into my life. The correlation with Salem, seeing all kinds of things here. We don't have enough time in the world to cover the things we saw we want to cover today, but we will be back. And yeah, I thought I was going to originally film like maybe a couple videos here. Right now I'm like, I got like 5 planned in my head.
Yeah.
I don't know if I'm going to do all 5, but much ahead. If it was your first time here, subscribe below because you'll get that notification bell for that next Salem video and beyond. We're on vacation, we're having a great time, and there's much ahead here in Salem and beyond. Thank you so much. Please give it a thumbs up. Make sure you subscribe to Chris the Girl. Check out her video to see what she bought. They got a lot of stuff over here. I mean you.
No one's gonna see what I got until later. But the shopping experience in general and just all the stuff
You're gonna do a whole video?
I did today. I'm gonna do a whole Salem
On a
haul
haul?
later because it's a lot. I bought a lot of stuff.
I have yet to buy anything. Wait till I start spending.
Yeah.
All right, okay. I had a great time with my fiance here. Love you guys. I'll see you in the next video here in Salem. Know you're awesome, know you're loved, no matter who you are, what you're going through. Just know that there's always much ahead. And munch ahead, off camera, because we're hungry.
Yeah.
What are we gonna eat?
I don't know. A lot of options.
Let's do it.